that shit to my face. Say it to my face. Say it to my face. Say that shit to my face. Say it to my face. Say that shit to my face. Say it to my face.
I've been ready to meet them face to face, and then they change their schedule, or something happens, ironically, so that they can just, avoid me. And in this case, Umar Johnson's reaction. He heard that I was going to stand face to face with him, and he made sure that he changed that schedule. At first, it was, and I heard this coming out of his own mouth, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. At first, it was supposed to be July 8th, and then it went from July 8th to July the 13th. And now it's canceled altogether, and he's asking people to ask him to come to their city in place of South Carolina. You can run, but you can't hide, Umar.
Anti-Afro Svengalis, say it to my face. Say it to my face. Well, that's very interesting. Keyboard musician tried to say it to Umar Johnson's face. And what did he do? He bailed, just like he's bailing right now. Well, it's kind of interesting. Why would Umar Johnson bail if he was the one supposedly giving something to the public? He is supposed to be giving something, so why bail? Because it's part of a scam. He doesn't know what he's going to do next. He doesn't know. He's in panic mode because he didn't anticipate all these people were going to be coming out the way that they did. But it's the same fear and panic that he had when Keyboard Musician said he was going to show up at one of his hyena yelps. So what? Someone shows up to your hyena yelp. Big deal. Someone asked you a question. So what? Big deal. It's the same thing now. I am told that the questions being posed over on Umar Johnson's social media accounts are just through the roof. First, he tried to block the comments and the people. Then he shut down the Instagram page. Then he's now shutting it off at nighttime. Because if he shuts down all the pages the whole time, guess what? How is he going to have access to money? Now, the main purpose of this video is to follow up on Umar Johnson's fake and fraudulent school quote announcement, unannouncement, non-announcement, unquote, that was supposed to take place January 1st. Remember, people, it was supposed to take place January 1st, and I stated it in a message that he was going to try to not say anything at all about the reason. Now, the closest thing I've seen, something about paperwork. What the hell did you mean paperwork? Now, someone else stated they weren't even sure if that was a recent message, that was a copy from another message. So what Umar Johnson's doing now, he's posting just hordes and hordes of photos that he has taken at hyena yelps, and 99% of them are with females. And someone artfully pointed that out, because what he's doing, he's trying to obscure comments. It looks as though, like somebody was saying the comments were turned off. So he's posting, just bombarding his social media sites with photos. But with every photo, it's a donation plug for donate. He's not leaving commentary anyway, or allowing comments to be made. Like in general, you can only respond to the photos. Is this pathetic, people? How long does he think this is going to last? Well, I'm here to tell you, I have a remedy for this. I have spoken about this before. What I'm going to do now, as you see on the screen, I am going to be instructing you. I'm saying you because I am going to encourage you, the listener. This is a personal one-to-one to each listener. I am strongly encouraging you to file a complaint, and I'm going to be going over that specific form in part 2. But in part one, what I want to do, I want to let you hear some very, very insightful commentary from some of our brothers and sisters around, as they call these YouTube streets. People are so over the top fed up. And these are even people who previously supported Umar Johnson. Even they are telling us what we must do. This people is not going to end. It isn't going to end unless we take action to stop it. So I want you to please listen in to a few of our brothers and sisters, and then I will return with the main commentary.
What I'm going to do now is a reading for Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson is a person, he said he is a Pan-Africanist. He said he's a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a family therapist, and a principal. Now, all of those things are not the same. He said he's a doctor. He has a doctorate degree. He's going to open a school for black boys to, I guess, teach them how to be Pan-Africanist. They say the greatest threat to the black man is a white man, so they sort of have this sort of mentality of, you know, black only, black first. And he said he's going to open a school. You're going to make it look as though you have a school, because that's what you want. I think you want to be admired more than you actually want to actually help. The Emperor was the first card I drew. You want to be admired more than you want to help. He said he has scientists and NBA players and all these kind of people donating thousands of dollars a month, but he needs money from just regular old people too, I guess. What crosses you is money. Money, money, money. But this is not given money. This is earned money. You feel as though you have worked for this. And I guess you have in a way, because, you know, all of your little telethons or whatever you want to call them when you get on and ask for money. I think the things you say are dangerous. You have been trying to do this for some time now, though. But the things you say does not give one the impression that you have a doctorate degree in any mental health field. Psychology, psychiatry, family therapist, none of that. This is work. You feel as though you have earned this. Because again, you don't see what so many other people are saying. That you're some sort of fraud is how they feel. You feel as though you're sitting on top of the world. You are the king. You feel as though this money has been earned by you, even though technically it is not supposed to be yours. It's supposed to be for the school that you said you're going to open with $800,000, which you can't just basic math. You can't. You need millions of dollars to do such a thing. There's something more than meets the eye with you in this school. I mean, most people who don't like you would say, duh, but there are people who do support you and support you a lot. There's something underhanded, though, but you are trying to get away with it. This is not something that the world knows about, so this is something maybe new. There's something else surrounding that school that maybe nobody else knows about. There's a new plan, there's a new venture, there's a new something that you are putting in place to grab all you can. Which brings us back to you feel as though it's yours. You feel as though it's yours. This new venture, whatever it is that you're trying to do, is coming quickly. Whatever this plan is, it's blown out of the water.
I already see what's coming from the people who are blindly supporting this situation. With haters, with this, with that. He may even say something. But the facts are the facts.
Well, I want to say this to a brother named Willie. I think his name was Willie Jones. Like, brother, he said, and I got the comment. I just got to go find it. But I'll try to paraphrase as much as I can. He said, brother, just hold out. Umar said he's going to announce the school on the 1st. We got the school, brother. Just hold out. And I said, good. I sent like a little thing, like, cool.
Yeah.
Came and gone, man. It's the 3rd now. There's no announcement. And I don't want to hear, oh, I was just trying to see who's going to come out and be the haters. Nah, you a businessman. You got to be punctual. It's been 10 years. Why would you play with the people? Now it looks like he's playing with the people's intelligence. That's what it looks like. It looked like he's betraying the legitimate aspirations of the people. The people want to see a school for the kids. He's not providing that. You're taking money and not doing it. So they foolishly give. They don't do nothing. The new people come along. And since we're so forgiving and we don't want to see nobody get in trouble, nobody goes the extra step to either sue, or do what they got to do, report this person for fraud. You got to come up with a school at this point. How long does it take to find a school? It don't take 10 years. It don't take 10 years to find a school to put kids in. It don't. But if you look at the whole business plan, it's kind of a failure from the start.
If Umar came out tomorrow and said, you know what, guys, I was over my head. I really didn't know what I was getting into, because no one's sitting here acting like building a school or creating a school is easy. And I'm not saying it's easy. That's why we gave him time. That's why we were on the strength of understanding when he said that I was here, but then I ran into an obstacle and have to go here. We understand that there may have to be a plan A, B, C, D, and maybe even an E. Understanding in that. But once you get to fucking W and X, it's like, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. We threw the alphabet now. Now what you gonna throw at us? There's no more letters to throw. So my question to you would be, if he came out and apologized and just said that I was over my head, are you forgiving Umar Johnson?
At this point, yeah, if you get the money back and say, look, I'm over my head, you move forward and, different, plans and objectives and goals. But it don't look like that's going to happen. It looks like, people are going to continue to go as long as they can until somebody comes in and says, look, whether it be the law, the IRS, the FBI, say, look, this is fraudulent. You're taking money under these pretenses and not doing what you say. This is fraudulent. You're not allowed to do that. It's against the law. And you're saying, and you're using, you see them things on Greed all the time. People collect money for so-called somebody with cerebral palsy, but if nobody has cerebral palsy, they get locked up all the time. I'll be creating a school for black boys. You got 10 years, 700K, 10 years, 700K, 10 years, 700K. You can't get a school in America with that. Is Instagram, is YouTube, anywhere who donated, there's no explanation. It looks like fraud. It looks like a scam. Until he comes up with the school, that's exactly what it is. There's no excuses. We don't want to hear the archdiocese. People deserve a ledger of that money that you took for that school. Or when the FBI and all these other people come in, we don't want to hear nothing about the white man and all this. We don't want to hear nothing because you're committing fraud on the people. It's a crime unto the people. So, the white man trying to take a black leader down. Fuck all that bullshit. I don't want to hear that shit.
A brother called The Uncensored Truth, and he used to be a supporter of Umar Johnson's. I posted the link to that video, and you heard from the Terror Apprentice. I posted that video link in a previous video recently. It's so contorted, this issue about reporting people. Whoever said you were jumping up and down with joy because you were reporting someone for a criminal offense or for being unethical. You're doing it because you're seeking vindication that is justified. Now, whether or not ultimately the ruling body declares you to be justified, that remains to be seen. But if you feel you have been stolen from, you have been ripped off, you see somebody being ripped off, taken advantage of, it's your moral obligation to make the report. Now, I want to distinguish between a moral obligation and legal obligation. If you're not working on a job, say you were working at a school and you're a mandated reporter, if you're not working there, you're not legally obligated to report. Same thing with me. In my line of work, while I'm working, I have obligations to report certain things. If I'm not working, that is my choice about whether or not I choose to report. And 100%, based on what Umar Johnson has been stating and what he's been doing for a long time, absolutely 100%, as a private citizen, I have a right to take it upon myself to notify the authorities, whatever agency that may be. So if people have a feeling that they absolutely will not report, they will not report. You don't need to listen to these videos, because this video or this channel is never going to say, don't report somebody who is engaged in a criminal act that you're impacted by or that you witnessed, or a vulnerable person is at risk. You're never going to hear that at this channel. So you waste your time coming over here talking about you're messing over a black man and this. Well, that's not my issue. That's your issue that you were struggling and grappling with. I don't have any conflict whatsoever. Do I call it an enjoyable process? No. It's preferable that this not be necessary at all. But that's something you need to take up with Umar Johnson. Don't take it up with me because you're not going to guilt me into not, number one, reporting, and you're not going to guilt me into number two, letting other people know they have a right to report. Number three, you're not going to stop me from speaking the truth about a field that I'm committed to, which Umar Johnson is perpetrating in. I mean, it's really sad that you think you can come here and say something to me and I'm going to stop what I'm doing. To me, I can't get my head around that, other than the fact that it's your issue to deal with. It is not my issue to deal with. If you are stressed out, and again, I'm speaking individually to people who this applies to. If you are stressed out by the fact that I am determined to make sure Umar Johnson's criminal behavior comes to a halting end, that's you. That's not me. That is 100% your issue to manage, whether you want to deal with it by going talking to a therapist, venting to your friends, anything you want to do, but your venting comments will not get on this board. I am here to let people know what they can do about this. I am responding to people's frustrations and anger and outrage and betrayal and embarrassment that Umar Johnson has done what he has done individually to people and to our community. This dovetails back into this fake outrage over R. Kelly. I don't even want to talk about R. Kelly. I gave a view about that. When we have all this going on right now that needs to be managed, R. Kelly was subjected to the criminal justice system and he was acquitted. What else can you do? But you can't do anything about that unless R. Kelly comes up again and engages in activity that is brought before the law. Now, even these adult women, I want to sidetrack this a little bit, whose family members came forward, okay, they came forward. It's not like the reports were ignored. The law got involved and interviewed the adult females, and it was determined that they were capable and competent to make their own decisions. Whether or not it turned out bad and not to their liking in the situation they were living with R. Kelly, that's not relevant. The fact of the matter is they were of sound mind and body to make whatever decision they made. Now, it's not a situation all the time where that occurs. You have situations where someone is ruled not competent to make a decision. We don't have that situation with R. Kelly, so I'm not focusing on him. I'm focusing on now. You may not like the behavior he's engaging in, but you can't do anything about it if he's not violating the law. Umar Johnson is violating the law. He's leaving our people in dire straits with illegal, dangerous, and unethical so-called advice under the banner of a fake therapist. Not only that, he continues to steal money from our people, claiming he's going to open some school, and he has no intention of doing that. So this is an active criminal offense going on as we speak. If you want to spend energy talking about R. Kelly, that's your right to do so. I'm not wasting my time going over that. That situation is done until you come up with more information to get him prosecuted. And even the people who claim they had all this information aren't doing anything or didn't do anything. So I'm done with that. I'm focusing on the here and the now. If I ever have information that someone has placed a child at risk, you tell me, I guarantee you, I will give you the instructions on how to report that. I may also report it, but I'm not going to go around looking for something that's not there. If it comes up, it comes up. We have something now. We have all these frauds. We have Umar Johnson lying and stealing. And he continues to do that while he didn't make an announcement. Then he said it was going to be on the 4th and whatever. But he's still putting up, give me money, That tells you, people, the money is not for the school, never was for a school. Umar Johnson just straight up needs money. That's all there is to it. And you give him money, it's not for a school. The evidence is there. You cannot ask me to justify why law enforcement hasn't yet swung down on Umar Johnson. How do you know they're not in the process of doing that? We don't know that. But I tell you one thing, if this much energy was put into Umar Johnson as it has been talking about R. Kelly when you can't do anything about it, Umar Johnson would have been arrested. You can't do anything about R. Kelly. Nothing you can do. You can hate him all you want. I've never been a fan of R. Kelly, as I stated. I don't. Actually, the only song I know is I Can Fly. If he came up with another song, or if he played a song for me, I wouldn't even know who it was. R. Kelly. That's it, people. So your investment in something you have no control over, it's a waste of time. Although you have a right to waste your time, I'm addressing those out there who are willing to do something about what is going on here and now in our community with the specific fraud, Umar Johnson. I can help you with that. I can give you all the information you need to have the situation handled. Now, as far as, let's revisit real quickly the board of psychology. I already gave you my position. Umar Johnson didn't victimize any black people, so the white people don't care. That's okay. There is another board that is going to be dealing with Umar Johnson, and that is the Board of Family Therapy. I will cover that in another video. But the next video after this one is going to be addressing complaints to the Department of Education, the State Department of Education in Pennsylvania. I will be going over the report form in detail. I will be walking you through that complaint form, the educator misconduct complaint form. I will be going over that with you. If you want to do something to help our people, I'm directly talking to black people, one-to-one, not as a group. Because group, forget it, honey. We already know that ain't happening. As individual people, do not try to force other people to go along with you. I'm addressing those who are willing to do this. I can help you do it, and I will help you do it. I will go step by step by step. I will give you the links. I will give you the documents, and all you need to do is fill in the information relative to your view. And again, I will go over that step by step, but I encourage you all out there, all as individual people, because I just explained, we cannot wait around for black people as a collective group to decide they're going to do something to Umar Johnson. We must act as individuals and in small groups. That is how Umar Johnson got GoFundMe shut down. Individual black folks reported him. Enough individuals reported Umar Johnson, because again, I'm not going to label it a group effort. Individual and small groups decided they have had enough, and they're not going to put up with it. And what happened to Umar Johnson's GoFundMe? Shut down. So here we go. Stay tuned for part 2, because I'm going to give you details about the reporting form and how to make sure we can get justice for our people. This has gone on for far too long. In the meantime, do not hesitate to ensure you are focused on heeding the warning. Buyer beware.